And once again, we say good morning. Thank God for another day. Thank God for the opportunity to share the word. Isn't that glorious? To start the day off with the word, and of course, worship to invigorate your spirit and enrich your your mind and prepare you for your day's journey. We thank God for it. 7:15 is our time, and the song of the day, voting again, it is Demeter Hatton, and we'll talk a little bit more about that in just a second. But right now, our spiritual vitamin this morning out of Matthew chapter 15. Matthew chapter 15, I would have you take note to verses 25, 26, and 27, or a portion thereof. The woman came and knelt before him, Jesus. Lord, help me, she said. He replied, it's not right to take the children's bread and toss it to their dogs. Yes, Lord, she said, but even the dogs eat the crumbs that fall from their master's table. Even the dogs eat the crumbs that fall from their master's table. I want to talk for just a minute from this thought. Can't is not an option. Can't is not an option. Can't is not an option. You know, coming up as a young man, I had a fascination with boxing. Loved boxing. Me and my buddies back in the day, we would always get into these shadow boxing matches. You've seen the fellas do it, throwing punches, trying to see how pugilistically astute we were, but we make sure we didn't really hit each other. But then even later in life, my early 20s, while I was in the military, I dared to engage in some amateur boxing, and I must say it was an interesting experience. But one of the things I learned from boxing, you will only go as far as your preparation, and one of the most important parts of your preparation is your sparring partner. For you see, the sparring partner's assignment is to prepare you for victory. The sparring partner's assignment is to prepare you for victory. And usually the sparring partner was not someone who was a pushover, but someone that would make you have to reach down deep and draw from within yourself that which you did not know that you had or that had yet to be developed. In fact, I'm reminded, someone once said, and I think it was never put more succinctly, that you'll never find a better sparring partner than adversity. You'll never find a better sparring partner than adversity, because adversity will challenge you to reach down deep inside of yourself, to pull out something that sometimes either has yet to be developed or that you did not even know existed. And so in our spiritual vitamin, we find our way to this woman who makes her way to Jesus. This woman, after Jesus has entered her territory, pagan territory, approaches him. She is a mother, and she's identified as a Canaanite who was not looked upon favorably. Sometimes that's how it is. People will judge you based on how they see you, and they will do for you based on their perception of you. But I'm thank God that Jesus allows even that kind of adversity to only make us better. Even worse, despised by the Jews, here she is now calling on Jesus, the Son of David, to receive her appeal, for assistance. Jesus introduces her to adversity, because sometimes in our walk of faith, it is required that we be introduced to adversity to challenge us to find that very special spark that's inside of us that has yet to be ignited. She makes her request, and she comes and concerning her daughter who is suffering from demonic possession. But Jesus first does not answer. And then the disciples say, send her away. And he responds, I was sent only to the lost sheep of Israel. In other words, you're not my assignment. You're not my assignment. That may seem a little cold and callous in its initial interpretation. But I would submit to you, my brothers and sisters, that maybe, just maybe, he was challenging her to show him something more. And sometimes that's what happens. We ask God to do for us. We ask him to step in. We ask him to make a way for us, and nothing happens. And we think he's saying no, when maybe he's saying, I need you to show me something more. So even upon his declaration that he was sent only for the lost sheep of Israel, I would have you take note to what this woman did. She knelt before him, which is a sign of submission and worship, made an appeal and said, Lord, help me. And then replied, it's not right. He replied, it's not right to take the children's bread and toss to the dogs. But she replied, even the dogs eat the crumbs that fall from the master's table. The point was, what she wanted from Christ, she wanted so bad that no or can't was not an option. And therein is a lesson for all of us in life. If you really want to see supernatural or miraculous things happen in your life, if you just, even in the practical, want to be successful in life, can't and no cannot be an option. I'm reminded in parting the book Masters of Success, the authors make a very astute observation. They say, if the road to success were a straight line, almost everyone would get there as a matter of course, and success would simply mean not making any mistakes. But sometimes small failures and adversity are an integral part of a larger success. It will challenge you to reach down deep inside of you to see, as we used to always say, what you're made of. This woman was made of a determined faith. Even though she did not have a personal relationship with Christ, she did not hedge on the opportunity that was before her, even though what she heard did not agree with what she requested. And I say to you, my brothers and sisters, sometimes what you hear around you may not line up with what you need to happen, but you cannot accept or allow can't or no to be an option. But you've got to keep pressing and persevering and engaging, even with adversity, until finally you get the answer that you were seeking. Ah, Jesus.